Okay, so I'm making some synthetic dreads today, and yeah, I just thought I'd make a video about how to properly back comb and steam your dreads, because there's a lot of methods out there, and I found a pretty good one that's pretty simple, so I'm going to show you. These are some dreads that I've already done, so they turn out pretty well. The ends are really sealed and they're really thin. And yeah, they don't get stuck together like Velcro or anything. They're really nice, so we're going to make some like that. So first off, you want to get some nice Cancalon hair, KK hair. I mean, there's so many different types of hair that you can buy. For instance, there's synthetic and human hair and whatever, but Cancalon is the best to work with. It steams better. The dreads I showed you was with Cancalon hair, and these ones that I'm wearing in my hair now are with synthetic, and these take so much more time to steam, and they don't look as good as when you use KK hair. So you're going to section off about, I'd say, an inch of your loose hair, and I mean, it doesn't really matter how much hair you section off. It just depends on how big you want your dreads to be. My kitty's here too, he's meowing in the background. So you're going to take your hair, and I already placed it in half, as you can see here. I have half of it hanging out, and then half of it tied up. Okay, because it's going to be a double-ended dread. There's my kitty. So I'm going to show you the proper way to back comb. You might want to get a pet brush for this. It makes it go so much faster, and it's just easier than just using a regular comb. So start from about halfway down the hair, and then just start back combing it. This is really the longest part. Now, if you start to get knots near the top, just take the hair apart like that, smooth it out, and start going again, because you don't want to tamper the hair when it's not completely back combed yet. The more you back comb it, the better the dread will look. It'll be easier to steam, and it'll just be better sealed. So you want to spend as much time as you need to back comb. Okay, so I finished back combing the dread, and you know when it's back combed properly if you can grab a few of the hairs and lift up the dread and it stays intact. That's how you know that it's properly back combed. If it starts going limp, then you need to back comb more. So for the steaming part, there's so many methods you can use to seal. You can use boiling water, you can use a flat iron. I personally, use a steamer. These ones that I'm wearing were back combed with a flat iron, but the thing is, it takes twice as much time and your wrists and hands will just kill. So it's better to just invest in a steamer. I got this from Canadian Tire. It's in the automotive department, and it even comes with this little fabric thing so you can smooth out the dread. Okay, so you have your back combed hair. So all you have to do now is start twisting. And as you're twisting it, try to smooth out any of the little bumps that you see, so that you can have, a nice evenly proportioned dread. And if you're starting to get little bumps along the side, just take your thumb and just smooth out the bump. It's kind of hard to explain, but once you start doing it, you'll know. And sealing takes time. It takes practice. I mean, this was my first sealed dread that I've ever done. And as you can see, it's kind of gross looking, so practice, practice, practice. You will get better if you keep practicing. Okay, so keep twisting down and down and down. until you have about, I don't know, maybe 15 inches or so of dread. Now you're only going to go this far down if you're using the steamer like mine. If you're using a flat iron, you'd only do maybe about 6 inches worth, and then you start sealing, because otherwise it's going to start coming undone, and it's not fun at all. I'm just going to move this camera back a bit. Okay, so there, you twisted your dread, you get your steamer, and you start steaming it. Now, it doesn't really matter how much you put the steam on it. Well, it does if, like, you know, you want to properly steam your dread. But a few squirts here and there will make the hair automatically seal. So there we go. You can even touch it after you steam it, and if it's kind of hard, that's when you know when to stop. So then you keep twisting from where you left off. Move the camera a little bit down. I'm making about 23-inch long dreads, so these are quite long. Okay, you twist and twist and twist. So now we're about 3/4 of the way down. Get your steamer and start steaming. And be really careful when you're steaming, because steam burns are the absolute worst. And if there's little hairs sticking out of the dread, you can always use this little fabric thin to kind of smooth it out. But it'll mostly smooth out itself. Honestly, the steam works like magic. Okay, so we're moving down towards the end. Just keep twisting and twisting. It does seem a little bit time consuming, but honestly, if you're going to go on the internet and buy stuff off there, then, you know, you're going to be spending maybe, I would say at least $100 for, you know, a good set that's well made. Which is okay, because I mean, they're going to last you, but why not just make it yourself? Or even start selling. Make some money for what you're good at. Okay. So now we're almost done, one of the dreads. Now I'm just working on the ends. Now the ends can be extremely tricky because of the way you have to hold it and whatnot. It can be a little bit tricky, but honestly, the only way you're going to get good at it is if you practice. Trust me, the first maybe 60 dreads I ever made, like, they're in the garbage. I don't even have them anymore. I didn't want to look at them. Be really careful about your fingers. When you're getting towards the end of it, just twist very lightly. You don't have to turn your whole hand. You're going to get carpal tunnel or something like that. Just twist in between your fingers. You don't have to do it to the very, very, very end. You don't have to do that. Unless you want to burn yourself. And just a few squirts on the end, because there's not much hair to seal, so you don't have to, like, push all the steam out just for a little section of hair. Okay. So this is 1/2 of the dread done. So just let it kind of fall, and you're going to see the end curl up a bit. See, that's not attractive. So all you have to do is really just cut the end of it. So get some scissors, go to where it stops curling, and just snip it. And there we go. See, the tip is very, very strong. It's like, it won't come undone, no way. So there we go. That's half of one of the dreads there. And yeah, that's really it. So you keep, once you do the other side, this is what you'll come out with. And they're really nice dreads. The ends are super sealed. These ends are a little bit bent, but it's because I've had them sitting on the book. But yeah, that's what you'll come out with. And they look really cute in your hair. Enjoy!